Thank you again for joining Bitter Reality Brewing, part 2 of 2, in the flesh, Apricot Saison. As YouTube says, this is a call to action. Please hit subscribe. That way when we do a part 1, you're alerted when we do a part 2. Or for upcoming videos, future videos, we've got a lot planned. We've ordered a second Jaded. Yes, experimentation on cooling wort. Vintner's Apricot Puree was added to this during the fermentation, as you will see. And then once we chilled it down, we added apricot, which is real apricot with sugar from Amoretti. None of this was paid for or sponsored. I bought all of this myself here. We brewed it in the Anvil. We chilled it with the Jaded. We added the apricot puree. We added it to the keg. We chilled it. And we're going to add the Amoretti. Please hit subscribe. That way you don't miss a video. Please hit like, just out of appreciation. And if you got any suggestions, questions, concerns, I don't care. Just hit comment. Let me know what you're thinking. I know I hate the word I'm trying to avoid it, but please let me know. You may think of something that I've never thought of. You may think of things that I have thought of, but maybe not the same way. And I'll go, that's how I need to do it. Let me try that. Always looking for new ideas. Always looking for cool things to share. Love brewing beer. Love seeing the final product from beginning to end. Don't forget, hit subscribe, like, leave a comment. Thank you very much. And let's move into our Apricot Saison. And let's test this baby out. We're putting in Vintner's Harvest Apricot Puree. Basically, no seeds, no crap. It's 49 ounces, or 3 pounds, 1 ounce if you do it by weight. Simply. A little thicker than I thought, but I figured it might be a little thick. Feel like I'm back in the 70s or 80s, popping big holes in cans like that. My wife made this for me. It's got a nice hop embroidery. Made it a couple years ago. Need a couple of them. And there it is. All nasty looking, but eventually it'll be amazing. Should have done this last night. Did not have a chance. Okay, this is going to be a little tight. Let's grab the funnel. Much safer. I'm already good at making messes. I don't need to add to my chance of making a mess. There we go. Smells like apricot. The aroma's not real strong. And what's going to happen, since the yeast has been munching away here for 2 days, is we're giving it more sugar to munch on. And we're looking for some nice residual apricot flavor and aroma. Although I'm not smelling much on the aroma side. We did put hops in here that had a little bit of that similar characteristics. Okay, I don't think I'm getting any more out. I can shake it all day, but that's pretty much it. Got a little there. That's it. Yes, I'm making a lot of racket. Sorry. Put the lid back on. Catch this before it falls and splatters me with apricot. Shake it up. It's going to get all that shrub going everywhere again too, but that's okay. There's some yeast blended in there that might come right back to life when it finds that it has more to eat. And there we go. Apricot Saison. It'll keep going. Once we're completely done and we chill it down, we're going to then see how much of the Amoretti apricot we need to add to it. That way it's 100% natural, it's got some sugar, and it's got apricot. It's time to transfer our Apricot Saison to the keg. Remember, we brewed this on May 2nd. It's now May 16th, 2020, in case you're looking at much later in the years. Our original gravity was 1.044. After 48 hours, we dropped the apricot puree, which was Vintner's Apricot Puree. It's about 49 ounces, if I remember right, which is 3 pounds, 1 ounce of puree, no seeds, no skin, just pureed apricot. That kicked our OG up to technically 1.049. And then after fermentation, we are now sitting at 1.007. Saisons, you can let them go for weeks, even months, technically, and it would probably get down another point. I'm not worried about that. 1.007 is dry enough. That puts us at about 5.5% efficiency, or sorry, 5.5% ABV. We were at about 75% efficiency. Remember, we also added 2 ounces of Calista hops and 1 ounce of experimental 7270, more so for some of the citrus and tropical fruits, but mainly for the apricot flavor. Just wanted to go apricot nuts on here. Once we get it down to 36 degrees and carbonate it, well, it doesn't have to be carbonated, but carbonated's nice to speed things up a little bit. We're adding the Amoretti, and we're going to add it based on how much we add to our pineapple. Maybe more, maybe less, we'll see. But the great thing about kegging over bottling is that when you do something to a keg and you go, it needs a little more, you have that option. You can add more. In a bottle, once it's bottled, it's bottled. You're done. There's no modifying the flavor. You're going to end up with oxygen if you try dumping it out and rebottling. That would just be dumb. But you can keep adding. Now, you can't take away, of course, and you don't want to water it down. But you can play with the flavors a little more, fine-tune that recipe even more so, especially if you then want to bottle, which bottling from kegs is much easier, in my opinion, than just bottling and going, I wish I did this, or I wish I did that, or I wish I added a little bit more of this. When it comes to flavors, and I'm talking like vanilla, fruit flavorings, things that you can add after the fact. We're also not going to add any gelatin to this. I don't want to clarify it. I want to keep as much of the apricot that's in suspension. So let's get moving. This is where it's been sitting, technically over to the side for 2 solid weeks. A wife made this for me a while back. It's got a nice little hop emblem on it. I need a couple more of these for the ones I ferment at room temp. As you can see, we have quite a bit of trub, but really it's not as much trub as it is apricot that has fallen out of suspension towards the bottom. I banged on it, shook it around a little bit, just to kind of get that apricot and anything else stuck up around the edges to fall. I did that about a week ago. The other trick I learned today, where did it go? A new trick. When you have something like this on a hard top and you want to slide it without shaking it or vibrating, this is blue. It's soap water, dishwater, whatever you order, not dishwater. It's water with dishwashing liquid. I was using it to find a leak that we had in one of our connectors, which is actually where we found the leak. It was in a stainless steel connector. But then after having it sitting here, I'm thinking, so I sprayed it, slid it over, then wiped everything down. Everything usually gets cleaned quite heavily with Star Sand, but Star Sand isn't as slippery as that stuff, so that worked really great for that. Still, wouldn't use it to clean your stuff unless you're doing it before you do PBW, Star Sand, all those lovely things. We're going to move the apricot now. Got the water just really, really hot. It's been sitting here. It's already cooled down a little bit. Also, when I went and ran this through Star Sand for about 20 minutes before I did the hot water, I thought I still had something on here. And you can't see it, but it's actually just a brand naming that they put on there, and it's kind of stamped on there, so that's not going to come clean. Let's get everything out of our way. Let's move some beer. It smells nice. I noticed a little bit of apricot. It's not strong. Not as strong as I would have suspected. I'm going to use this beach towel. I need air on one end to reduce the noise of this pump. This pump is so loud compared to Anvil's pump, which doesn't work with this. I need some modifications to get the tubing a little smaller. This thing is so loud, and that one is so quiet. I wish I had them all quiet. So here we go. Remember, once we see the Apricot Saison start coming over there, then we'll rock on and move it over to the keg. Gotta be very careful today with all that trub. Definitely still have a little more Star Sand in there. Let's see the suds. This is the fun part, doing it by one hand. We're on. I don't want to get any of that trub. And we've already cleared that with CO2, as you can hear. Here we go, time to rock and roll. I'll speed things up. That did not go as planned. Luckily it was mainly water. Mainly. Well, we moved the Apricot Saison in the flesh, Apricot Saison, over to our keg system. Oh man, I've got a little bit of a mess. Lots of water everywhere. Water on the wall. We're going to put that in the chill, or should we the keezer for 2 weeks? Or actually for a little less than a week. It's that time. Time for us to flavor the Apricot Saison. This is what it looks like right now. It tastes great. Tastes like a Saison. Extremely floral though, which I kind of expected. We're going to add Amoretti. We're going to add 2 ounces of Amoretti apricot by weight. The actual fluid ounces is 5.68. I don't know if we can get that. There you go. And even though it says 8 ounces by weight, I believe about an ounce and almost a quarter is actually the container itself. So let's turn that on. Wait. Yeah, so we're going to add 2 ounces to this. Stir it up. I've got a bunch of glasses. The reason I want to have a bunch of different glasses is so that we can compare from where it is to where we may take it. Also, great reason to subscribe. You're kind of getting a little teaser here. Jaded sump pump. Measuring gallons per minute, per hour, whatever we want to do. And yes, I already have one. It's a second Jaded Scylla. We're going to do some cooling tests. So subscribe, that way you won't miss it when it comes out. It'll definitely be coming out after this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add 2 ounces of Amoretti apricot. Shake it up, and we'll resume. This is without our Amoretti. This is going to be with 2 ounces of Amoretti. The only bad thing about holding it like this, plus shaking it up, I definitely got a little more foam than I had before. You see? It's very pretty. Maybe. My nose could be playing tricks on me. I taste a little more. The floral is a hint stronger in the flavor, but I'm tasting more of the fruit too. So, with just the Vintners, in case you don't remember, 49 ounces of Vintners, which is put in during fermentation. Most of the apricot's going to, of course, ferment out, but we still have it on the nose, a little bit on the flavor. A little stronger, but not quite where I want it. So we're going to add 2 more ounces. From 9.21 to 7.2, and now we need to bring it down to about 5.2. This is the great thing about kegging, is that you can actually add things such as flavorings and other things to the beer, or blend 2 beers after the fact. Definitely got to be careful with the oxygen, but we'll purge it, not a big deal. Definitely need to find somewhere clean to set this down. I have a paper towel, but I used it. I always use the inside of the paper towel, that way I figure it hasn't been exposed to dust or anything. Almost forgot to weigh it with the lid. Wow, that was close. A little more. Got to keep our weight consistent. There we go, 5.19. That's about as close as I've been so far. Okay, we'll shake this up and we'll come right back. We're back. Amoretti apricot, take 2. Okay, here's our apricot with only the Vintners. Added during fermentation. This is being added after, and we're keeping this at the 36 degrees Fahrenheit average. It's about the middle temp. The big key there is that we'll get the apricot flavoring. It will restart fermentation, but it'll be so slow that hopefully we'll go through it way before it does anything special. Probably should have made a bigger sample of that. Okay, and this is with 4 ounces by weight So if you're looking at liquid and we're at 5.68, that's about 2.84 fluid ounces, which isn't very much if you really think about it. There we go. A lot of foam from all that shaking. Could not be avoided unless I let it wait a long time. It's going to settle out quite rapidly. Okay. And I can see the foam settling already. Don't know if it's the foam. Probably the foam. The floral's kind of been reduced a little bit. That's very nice. You know what though? And I might be overdoing it. With the pineapple rye, we only did half a bottle. I'm going to push the Amoretti apricot and go a full 6 ounces and see where we're at. Might want to add the whole thing, but I really don't want to go crazy either. Sometimes. So let's add 2 more ounces. Okay. I had to get a 4th glass. I had not planned on going past 4 ounces. So I'm going to add another 2 ounces. See where we're at. And of course I lifted the glasses, which defeats the purpose to be able to see. So we want to come down to about 3.19 on weight on this. Did a little better last time. .14. You know what? Let's just add the whole thing. See if it takes it overboard or dump it all in there. Final take, Apricot Saison. We've used the whole bottle. And remember, in the flesh, Apricot Saison by Bitter Reality Brewing. So we've used the whole bottle. This is just Vintner's. Add it during fermentation. 2 ounces of Amoretti apricot. 4 ounces of Amoretti apricot by weight. 8 ounces by weight, or 5.68 fluid ounces. Much better. Had a little foam explosion when I opened it the second time to add the Amoretti. I'd shaken it and realized I had a little left, and yeah, we had a giant ball of foam come up. Not good. To clean up, wash my hands with Star Sand just to touch everything because I had to put it all back and clean it up. Okay. First one's very, very floral. Second one, it's almost the same floral, but it does have a hint more flavor of Amoretti, of course, Amoretti, of apricot. But it was still more on the floral side, even the taste. At 4 ounces, it's pretty much perfect. You got the smell, the floral's a little more muted, and the flavor smell comes out a little bit more. Tastes great. It's a Saison. It's got all the spices going on. Any of the fruits that the Saison would have given off are pretty much covered with the apricot, so I'm not too worried there. The floral is extremely muted. I can still smell it, but it's not in my face like the first two. Okay. I'm going to say the 4 ounces was probably perfect. 6 probably would have been pushing the envelope a little bit, but 8 ounces, it's definitely added some sweetness to it. That's noticeable. The apricot is definitely the majority of the beer. I still get a little bit of that Saison spice, but it's very mild. either way, either at 4 ounces, 6, or 8, even though we didn't do a 6. So between 4 and 8 is perfect. If you really want it sweet and fruity, go 8. If you want it right on the edge of it, go 6. And if you just want a nice Saison with just a nice aroma and taste of apricot, 4 ounces would have been perfect, just like we did with the pineapple. I'm still going to drink the hell out of this stuff. This stuff's going to be great because it's hot outside. We got a lower ABV. It's fruity. It's got a little spice to it. It's not the IPAs that I know everybody loves, and I love IPAs, and I have a lot on tap. We've brewed a lot of IPAs, but you need something other than IPAs. We've got a lot of stouts. We've got a brown ale coming, a porter. We've got a lot of other things than IPAs to brew, but we'll always brew an IPA from time to time. Thank you again for joining Bitter Reality Brewing. Don't forget to like. If you got a question, comment, concern, or you just want to suggest something that we should try, definitely let me know. I've got a few suggestions already cooking. Been working with Jaded on something. I ordered this, paid for, and they gave me some great recommendations. I'll share those with you during the video on Jaded. Thanks again, and don't forget to subscribe. That's it.